Let us now begin in Allah's blessed name. What is the Khilafah? The Khilafah is state and government in Islam. What is Islam? The definition of Islam is submission to Allah. What is submission to Allah? Submission to Allah is submission to Allah as Al-Malik. In some translations in English you find Malik as king. No. We don't want that translation tonight. We're dealing with political terminology here tonight. And so Al-Malik is the sovereign. Now that's a word you'll understand. Sovereign. Lahul Mulk, sovereignty belongs to him. And so to submit to Allah in Islam is to submit to Allah as sovereign who possesses sovereignty. To submit to anyone else as sovereign, to declare that anyone else possesses sovereignty, is to say goodbye to Allah. Did you hear that? To submit to Allah is to submit to Allah as Al-Akbar. And He reminds you that He is Al-Akbar. Because every time you perform salat, you cannot move in salat without Allahu Akbar. Al-Akbar is the one who has supreme authority. And so the Khilafah is a state and government which submits to Allah's authority as supreme. For a Muslim to submit to anyone else and recognize his authority as supreme is to say goodbye to Allahu Akbar. Islam is to submit to Allah as Al-Hakam. The 99 names, this is one of them. Al-Hakam is the lawgiver, who not only gives the law, but his law is the supreme law. And when he makes something haram, it must be enforced as haram. And when he makes something halal, it must be enforced as halal. And so anyone who submits to any law other than Allah's law as the supreme law has said goodbye to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Al-Hakam. This is called, in the political terminology of Islam, this is called shirk. When Fir'aun declared, and of course everyone knows what Fir'aun said, Ana Rabbukumul A'la, I am the one who is sovereign. I possess sovereignty. That was shirk. When he declared, Ana Rabbukumul A'la, I am the one who possesses supreme authority, that was shirk. When he declared, Ana Rabbukumul A'la, my law is the supreme law in the land of Egypt, that was shirk. And Allah punished him with terrible punishment for his shirk. This then was the Khilafah, a system of state and government in which Muslims could submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as Al-Malik, as Al-Akbar, as Al-Hakam. The Khilafah was destroyed. Who destroyed it? Why did they destroy it? How did they destroy it? When did they destroy it? What did they replace it with? With what was it replaced? And what is its destiny? These are awesomely important questions which very few can answer today. There is a book outside which was not written as an attack on a religious movement, the Wahhabi movement, no. It is entitled The Caliphate, the Hijaz, and the Saudi Wahhabi Nation State. It's outside. And it answers all of these questions. Now then, let us begin the lecture as to who destroyed the Khilafah and why did they destroy it and how did they destroy it. When you read this book, Jerusalem in the Quran, and when you listen to the lecture next Monday, then you'll know that the Jews had in their heart, as they still have to this day, this conviction that it is their destiny. Even after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had expelled them from the Holy Land, even after they had lived in the wilderness for 2,000 years, it is the conviction in the heart of the Jews that it is their destiny to liberate the Holy Land of non-Jewish rule, to return to the Holy Land not as tourists, no, to return to the Holy Land to reclaim it as their own. For 2,000 years the Jews had this conviction in their heart that one day this will happen. To restore in the Holy Land the state of Israel, of Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam. And that the golden age will come back one more time. The golden age, when that state of Israel, of Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, was the ruling state in the world. That age will come back one more time. And so the state of Israel, when it is restored, will eventually become the ruling state in the world. This was the conviction of the Jews. You and I, from the Quran and from the Sunnah, from the Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, we would know about the magnificent deception of Al-Masih al-Dajjal, who liberates the Holy Land in 1919, liberates the Holy Land of non-Jewish rule, who brings the Jews back to the Holy Land, not as tourists, but to reclaim it as their own, between 1919 and 1948, who restores a state of Israel in the Holy Land in 1948, and convinces the one-eyed Jews that this is the Israel of Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, but of course it is not, it is an impostor. But they accept it and they embrace it. And that this Israel is about to become the ruling state in the world, replacing the United States of America. Those who differ with me, who say, well, we never read this in our books, where did he get this from? This must be false. My answer to them is just wait and see. Just wait and see. If this is to be accomplished, and the golden age of the Jews is to return one more time, and they are to rule the world, how will they do it? They will need globalization to bring all of mankind together as one global society. And they need to demolish the Ottoman Islamic Empire, which stands in their way. And they will have to demolish the institution of the Khilafah, which is the head of Islam. If you can cut off the head, then you can paralyze the body. And so the attack is now launched to cut off the head, the Khilafah.